Let's welcome Good Morning to Good Morning LaLaLand. I'm Dr. Erin.
I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jasmine Moyer. Welcome to Good Morning LaLaLand, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and now on Twitter.
We've got a great show. I'm super excited for today's show. It's all about Transformation Tuesday, and we're going to discuss and kind of debate some of the trendy diets that we all have, and we're going to talk about body, mind, soul transformation, and we're also going to talk about having some hacks on our transformation of our fashion. So excited for today.
So excited. Hashtag Transformation Tuesday. We have two very powerful women who specialize in just that back in the studio. Good morning, Dee and Sarah. How are you today?
Good morning.
Oh, look at that love and light coming right from there. So here at Good Morning LaLaLand, we'd like to know how you start your day. What's your morning routine like, Sydney?
My morning routine, I've actually transformed this year. Yes, I started reading this book, The Miracle Morning, and it just taught you to do some meditation and some journaling, and I've been really trying to do that every morning to get a good, fresh start. So I've been doing a gratitude journal every morning.
Now, as a fashion and beauty blogger, how does that affect your day?
It just puts a positive outspin on things. I mean, it's so hard when you're looking through Instagram and looking at other people and comparing yourself. That's one of my biggest problems, is to compare myself. So it's trying to teach me to be grateful for what I have in life and just to be thankful for the smallest things. Like I get to cuddle my dog every morning, you know? I have the legs to take her for a walk, and just to kind of step outside the whole fashion world and just be like, I'm grateful for everything.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Sarah, what's your morning routine?
Well, my mornings are usually super busy because I have a daughter, I have 4 dogs, and 2 bunnies.
Oh my goodness.
So I wish I could say I had like this glamorous morning routine and a lot of time for myself, but I don't. But I think this is not really what it's about. You know, you don't have to have a perfect morning routine. It's really about finding that one thing that works for you. And so for me, I take care of everybody else, and then when I come back home after I drop off my daughter, then I settle in, and
whatever
then
works.
Exactly, whatever works. Yeah.
That, I'm sure, then starts your day as a life coach, as a host, as an entrepreneur. Taking that time for yourself, how does that affect the rest of your day?
If I don't do it, like I feel so on edge and agitated, like I really have to force myself to take that time of the day. It doesn't have to be first thing in the morning, but just to center myself, to really focus on the day and focus on my intention and how I want to feel that day. And if I don't do it, then the day is just like weird. It has like a weird energy to it.
I'm surprised you can focus with all those animals running around. It's the most like glamorous too.
I know. Yeah.
I'm ADD just thinking about it. I don't even know where to go. I got lost at bunnies.
Right. Well, we're looking forward to learning more and having you help us all transform today and later in the show. So, what's up, you guys?
Everything. It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
Almost feels a little bit like a Monday, but it's Tuesday.
Oh, the Tuesday vibes are hard today. I had the most incredible experience yesterday. I was so excited to come to the studio and tell you about it. I had a sound therapy bath.
Oh yeah, how'd it go?
Really?
Incredible. It was the first time in, I don't know, years that I actually slept through the night.
Wow.
I feel so rested. I feel so at peace. I feel like myself. It was an incredible transformational experience. A friend, Nacha, that I met here at Focus TV, had invited me up for a session. I had no idea what to expect. Have either one of you done that?
No.
Yeah, a lot. There's a lot of groups around LA that do them, and they're really, I mean, it depends on how they do it, but a lot of people cry during them.
Oh, I cried, certainly. First I had these headphones on and he played some music, and I felt like just this, it was like an internal party. Sounds crazy. Then he got this like conch seashell, which he says is the sound of the universe, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to ask Erin about that. He started blowing it like on me. It sounds weird, right? So he's running around me with the seashell, blowing this like it's a horn. And I swear to God, it was like it bursted through like the heart chakra, which sounds crazy again, but it was so incredibly freeing. I just started to cry. It was like my soul went on this journey. It was the first time I was like ever actually truly in a meditative state that I can ever really that I've ever experienced. It was so cool. So thank you so much, Nacho. That was an incredible.
They're really, that's so LA, first of all, but they're they really are powerful. I don't know if you did any breath work with it.
Oh, well, yeah. So then we started doing some rhythmic movements, some breathing. I started owning and harmonizing. It was insanely transformational. It was so cool. I would recommend it to anybody, and I'm certainly not used to experiences like that. But if you just take the risk and let go, by the end of it, literally it was like arms spread. He was like, fly. I'm like, I'm flying. My soul is flying right now. I'm so happy, Nacho. Thank you.
I used to assist on something. There's some huge sound baths around LA, like where like 50, 100 people will show up and they do this huge circle and there's like sound baths in the middle and they do breath work, hydrotropic breath work, and then do a sound bath. And I don't know, I mean, I think it's amazing, but we would always have one person that would almost kind of have a psychic break in there and start crying. So I feel like it's a little scary, you know, just the people. There's, I mean, obviously all kinds of amazing people, but there's some mentally ill people that show up and, you know, that clearly need to go have professional, like it's
I'm not mentally ill.
No.
I had a breakthrough and it was
Gosh,
awesome.
no, of course I don't mean it like that at all, but it was fascinating to see there'd always be one person that would literally freak out, and it was like, whoa, this is maybe a little too much for some people.
Yeah, it sounds extremely cathartic, and it's probably helpful that, you know, you go to someone that you really trust.
Right?
Someone that's done it a lot. It sounds like this was a fantastic
No, I mean, I don't mean it like that at all.
No, but it was really cool. It was very transformational. So for whatever it's worth, I slept like a dream last night, and it was amazing.
I highly recommend them. They're amazing. Totally like set you, ground you, get it all cleared out, anything that needs to be moved energetically.
Would you ever do that, Rob?
Absolutely.
All
yeah,
right,
absolutely.
I'm going to set you up with Nacho.
I'm down. I know.
Your soul's going to fly.
I'm ready.
So tapped in.
Tapped in, tuned in, turned on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It took me a while.
What about you, Erin? What did you get into?
You know, speaking of, I felt off yesterday, quite frankly. I don't know if you guys ever have those off days, but I had one of those off days, and I kind of went, I just feel like when I get in those moods, I try and meditate, and if I can't get there, then I need to exercise or do something to like get my mind right. So I, you know, oftentimes will go to the sauna, as you guys know. So I went to the sauna. I took 1,000 milligrams of niacin. Don't recommend that. You're supposed to move your way up. For me, I take a lot of it, so I can do that. But I just got in the sauna for a few hours and felt just amazing, slept like a baby. And
really?
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's just times when, you know, I don't know if you want to see you're tapping into collective consciousness or there's something, you know, going on emotionally or what, but sometimes you just feel like, I'm coming out of my skin, what's going on, you know? And so for some people that's to go hike, some people have a drink, some people do whatever. For me, it's sauna.
With the sauna work, do you feel like it's very meditative too, right? Do you feel your mind quiets down, or what's the experience?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it is toxins. I think that we'd be amazed at, like, I really want to thank my father, and we're going to talk more about this in the second segment, but they say that our second brain and our emotions are really based in our gut, and if we're, you know, off and there's a lot of toxins in our environment, or we're kind of eating too much sugar, which I do often, or whatever that is, sometimes you'll get emotional, and you're like, sometimes it's part of your life, and you have to know that, or is it your diet, or what is that? And for a lot of times, it's just biochemical for me. I need to get in the sauna, sweat that out.
Yeah, I love it. It's pretty complex, isn't it, actually, when you think about it?
Well, you want to seek your doctor's advice before you do something extreme like that.
There are some very exciting things happening in LA.
Oh, yeah?
On a side note. Yes, so I got my weekly update from Gold Star. We like LA. And first of all, on Thursday is the Planned Parenthood Food Fair. You guys, this is so exciting. It's a big deal. It's at the Barker Hangar in Santa Monica, and it started in 1979. It was actually just a demo by Julia Child. Now there's over 150 different vendors local to Los Angeles, some of the top chefs in the world, and it's going to be an incredible event. There's a lunch daytime portion, there's a dinner portion, so I will see you there, Los Angeles, at lunch, and they're going to kick off Women's Month with a dance festival in Century City.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
there's,
did you know,
it's Women's Day, right? On what, the 8th or whatever, is that right?
Women's Day is on the 8th, but the whole of March is
I didn't
Women's
know
Month.
that. I didn't know that.
Maybe it's a new thing. I feel like every day there's a thing.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of like birthday party. It's like a birthday month now.
Yeah.
Oh, what are we going on here?
Well,
Okay. Oh, we go. Okay.
We did.
Here we. Apparently, we did know. So, International Women's Day. We've got little purple bracelet. It's official. It's on.
You know what the color purple stands for is standing against domestic violence, right? So we've seen that on a lot of NFL players, things like that.
And if you remember the movie, Color Purple.
Color
I don't think it's
Purple.
an
Right.
accident.
Transformation and spirituality. That's what purple stands for. So, yeah. So, let's take a little break. When we come back, we're going to hack and talk about some low-cal diets versus low carbs, and then all the different hacks on some different diets. We're talking about transformation, body, mind, spirit. So, stay tuned as we dive into the body.
Hey everyone, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to This Week in Focus. My name is Victoria Simone, and I'm a producer here at Focus TV Network, which is America's first video streaming talk show network, but you already knew that. And today I have my girl helping me out.
I'm Jasmine Ye, co-host of Good Morning La La Land.
So last week on the Focus TV Network, we had the season premiere of the LA Home Show hosted by
Natasha Phillips.
We had Live It with Tanya Meme
and Robert Ferguson.
We also had hashtag Harry and Kelly and What's Good, hosted by Amy Paprath and Justin Walter. Jez, who was on your show.
It was a great week in La La Land. We had some serious talk with the creator of the Girl Talk Network herself,
Sarah Pendrick.
Some real insight with our favorite psychic and the creator of the Soul Playground, Michelle Miche, and the gorgeous ladies of Leone Candelli.
Hot.
Hot.
Thanks for tuning in to This Week in Focus. My name is Victoria Simone. Jez, thanks for helping me out. Bye.
I'm Jasmine Moyer, co-host of Good Morning La La Land, and in case you missed us live, this was This Week in La La Land. I've got my associate producer, Victoria Simone, to help me walk through. On Monday, we had licensed marriage and family counselor, Ms. Elizabeth Winkler,
who specializes in mindfulness and meditation.
We celebrated hashtag Transformation Tuesday with Derek Warburton.
You mean Derek Fabulous?
Fabulous.
Fabulous.
On Wednesday, we had the creators of Leone Candelli.
Hot.
Hot. Thursday, we had a lot of girl talk with the creator herself.
You mean girl crush, Sarah Pendrick.
And Kara King Casey, the sisters of the Daily Soul Sessions. And on Friday, we celebrated with Michelle Miche, creator of the Soul Playground.
And psychic.
This was This Week in La La Land.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Creators of Leone Candelli.
Hot.
Fuck. How did that happen?
Fuck.
Not cute. Chin. No. Put down the paper towel. Leone Candelli.
Making sure our bedrooms smell amazing.
All day, every day.
If you could get me out of bed before 10, then you're special. You don't want. What?
Robert Ferguson, I got it.
And the amazing
Amy. Oh. I'm fired. I'm fired. Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. It's hashtag Transformation Tuesday in the house. We have two very special guests, a beauty and fashion blogger and a transformational coach and host. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
So, Sydney, I'm wondering if you're kind of in a mood or a funk, what's the #1 thing you do to hashtag transform your day?
I put on a pair of shoes that I love because that's the fashion girl in me. But I don't know, I just put on a pair of shoes and I feel confident. It's usually heels and I just walk around, or I put on a great lipstick, something that just brightens me.
It is crazy how a good pair of shoes can literally
It really does. I mean, you can lose your butt. Like, who doesn't want that without having to work out?
Exactly. Sarah, what do you do to transform your mood?
Really just slowing things down. You know, like I said, I'm usually super busy, so slowing things down, just like taking a minute to really feel my emotions and whatever it is that's going on. And then also knowing that I can change my mood. Like I can just set the intention to, and just like tuning in and saying, okay, you know, the first half of the day was pretty shitty today, but I'm choosing that the second half of the day is going to be better. And usually that works like a charm.
It does. I've been reading books about that. I've been all about the self-help this year. I know it's only February, but I'm trying. For every a positive thought is 100 times more powerful than a negative thought.
Yes.
So like this morning, I had a zillion negative thoughts because I was telling you guys the power went out in my building as I was getting ready. So don't mind my hair. It's a bit of a mess. But I was like, it's okay. You know, luckily I have straight hair, so I'm okay right now.
Yeah.
So you just like turn it around with one positive thought.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, we're so glad you turned it around. You were able to join us today. We're so excited to get to know more about you and your journeys later in the show.
Nice. So Transformation Tuesday, Rob had sent over an article on low fat versus low carb.
Yeah.
And tell us a little about that.
So it's endless, right? There's always these discussions and research being done versus like, should I have a low carb diet or should I have like a low fat diet? And for the longest time, of course, it was all about low carb. And then, before that was about low fat. And so there's a recent research study that was conducted over a year-long study at Stanford about 600 participants, and they basically found that there's no difference. So whether you do a low-carb diet or a low-fat difference, in terms of weight loss, you pretty much get the same results. There was like a 1.5 pound difference, which isn't like statistically significant. In addition to that, all of the other health markers, also no difference.
Wow,
so yeah, it is
huh?
fascinating. Of course, the caveat there is that, of course, if you've got high cholesterol or anything like that, or high blood pressure, you want to be careful about the, like low carb and then going high with the fat. The other caveat was that, it doesn't matter how many calories you take in and how much protein you take in, so you've got to also keep that in mind. But overall, low carb, low fat.
So fascinating, huh?
Yeah.
When I'm pretty open about, I had bulimia from the time I was 17 to 20 years old, and it was interesting because it's not like being a drug addict or an alcoholic, whereas you can just get that out of your life, right? You got to deal with making peace with food, basically, And so I would try different things, and what I found for myself is those extreme diets, nothing ever worked for me. Like if I went extreme, I'd become obsessive with it. It didn't work. So I am a true believer in kind of the low calorie thing, small portions meaning, not low calorie, well yeah, low calorie, because low calorie they say that in rats even that they have they can prolong their lives by like 30%. So low calorie has some major benefits to it.
Yeah, I've read that before, that certainly that the animals that eat the lowest calorie diets live the longest overall. Of course, you got to be, like you said, you have to be careful because you can take that to extremes. And I'm not a big fan of like going hungry at any point in time if I have the money to pay for it.
Right.
Make sure that I feel satiated. And I kind of am a grazer anyway.
Well, Erin, you bring up a good point, and I think that's the relationship to food, right?
Totally.
And so whether it's knowing that a low-calorie diet works for you, or low-carb works for him, or low-fat works for him, or like one of our fans here, Katerina, she said, having a nutritious, colorful breakfast transforms the start of her day, right? So food does have a very powerful impact, not only the way we look, but the way we feel about ourselves.
Absolutely. You said something interesting earlier, too, about how the gut plays a role.
Yeah, so my father's a naturopath, and I just want to give a big shout out to my dad, an amazing man, and he's taught me a lot about nutrition from the standpoint of how our gut is basically like, they call it like our second brain. Like if you're emotional, a lot of times it's because your gut is off. You've got too much different bacteria, or you're eating too much sugar, or whatever it is, and it can make people really emotional, for sure.
It's so interesting. So for, I think over 10 years, I've had these digestive issues. It started like 10 years ago. I had multiple colonoscopies, multiple endoscopies. In fact, in one of the colonoscopies, I woke up halfway through.
Oh my God.
Yeah, mind-blowing.
Nightmare.
Mind-blowing. So yeah, I've had, anyway, so basically at the end of all these tests, they basically weren't able to diagnose what the problem was. And, but the one thing that I learned along the way was that just like you said, it's sort of a second brain. The other piece is that 80% of the energy that your body expends is spent by the stomach, like the gut,
right?
Not just the stomach, but the entire gut.
Yeah.
And so when you're having digestive issues, it really does affect your ability to think clearly, regulate your emotions, all these other things that you never imagine your gut would be responsible for.
Right. So speaking of stumbling on, because I try and do some research whenever we're talking about any topic here, and I stumbled upon in 1911 there was a book. It's called The Fasting Cure, and I'm trying to remember who it's by, Upton Sinclair, and it's fascinating because as you guys know, I'm kind of obsessed with toxins. That's my whole thing, is that I believe that if you exercise, it's great because it helps move the body and move the toxins. If you go to the sauna, it helps detox. If you do whatever, but basically it's the toxins that are so hard. So the metabolism, like you said, in your gut. So this is obviously, that title would never go over today because we're not allowed to say anything's cured except for the Western medicine. But at that point in time is called The Fasting Cure. And he actually studied a lot of people that had like health issues, major health issues. And as they fasted, a lot of those health issues would go away. Wow. And I personally have never been able to fast. I can't make it past day 2, but I'm fascinated thinking, I want to be able to be one of those people that tries the 40-day fast.
That's my sister. She
right?
40-day fast.
Wow.
Mind-blowing.
Wait. 40 days?
Yes, she will do 30, 40 days, or 30, between 30 and 40 days.
Angela.
Yes.
What are you doing?
It's crazy.
Why are
it's
you
crazy.
doing this? I know you're watching right now. Yeah. I would love to know, what is the effect on her?
She fasts for religious reasons, and she finds greater clarity and insight. So she uses a period of prayer, and she finds if she's looking for direction in her life or clarity, she generally finds it too.
Yeah, and we know this through, of course, so many famous famous writers and deities and prophets and everything else. Deities obviously probably don't fast because they're not in this realm, but
Yeah,
prophets
not physical,
for sure.
but yeah.
They fast all the time. But I mean, I agree. I fast via the sauna, so I, go in for many days. But yeah, I'm dying to try the whole fasting.
You know what I fast from? Mean people. I fast from toxic energy all day.
I've done like a juice cleanse before where it was like just 3 days and all I had were, 6 different juices a day, right? But I've never straight up just.
Oh, I have done that, Jez. That's a good point.
But scientifically, so I'm not a scientist and I'm not a traditional doctor, I'm a doctor of divinity, but they say that the reason why fasting can be so profound is because there are things in the liver and sugars in the liver that you can't, it won't detoxify unless you fast. So even though you're doing like a juicing fast, it's not the same because you go into your fat system. I think it's like, around 72 hours into your fast, and it goes into the fat reserves and it goes into parts of the liver that you would never kind of touch unless you're starving to death.
I think I'd really like to transform my life with a good pair of heels. Like I'll set up a meeting with Sarah and then I'll have a dirty martini. And my day will totally transform.
Absolutely, whatever it takes. We're all about allowing people to have their own, perspective, whatever works for them, living their own unique truth, right?
So powerful. Yeah,
absolutely.
So bottom line, low fat, low carb. I did the low fat in my 20s. I personally do not think it's good long term. Maybe it's short term to like do whatever, but it's not good for your brain. It's not good for a lot of, your body needs fat.
Yeah, and it needs carbs. I mean, I used to do like really extreme low carbs. I would eat like only tuna, like out of a can for weeks.
Paleo.
And, it was just only protein, no carbs. And it was exhausting. I thought that I would break through like that wall after a couple of days or a week, but I never broke through the wall. I just kept getting more and more tired.
Me too. I did it for, I think, a month or two one time, and I still was like, and I was like, it's not breaking through to some new place that I have all this energy from the fat reserves. Like, I never got there.
You really have to listen to your body, I think.
For sure.
Your body.
I'm just going to go to France and eat bread and cheese and wine and butter all day. But they have, they do. And the thing is too, sometimes with more quality ingredients, you eat less because you have more of the nutrients. You're full faster, so you're not eating as much as these like low-fat processed foods that you have to like eat the whole box of Ritz crackers to feel full, as opposed to eating a small baguette and you're satisfied.
That's true with really spicy food too. So the spicier the food is, the less calories you tend to consume.
Interesting.
Is it true that spicy boosts the metabolism?
Yes, heard that. So like cayenne pepper.
That's so parrot French is doing the eat anything and just eat very small portions, right?
You know what else they're doing over in Paris that I really actually appreciate is that they have a shortened work week. And they were actually for a long time lobbying for a 20-hour work week, like as a rule, like as a law.
Sign me up.
They're actually down to like 36, right? 36 hours a week. They get minimum 5 weeks paid vacation a year. And during that time, typically, they're not allowed to even log into their work emails, log into their work cell phones. In fact, they get like punished and reprimanded if they do.
Wow, I think that's going to happen eventually. My prediction is there's going to be a movement in, I've already seen it honestly with my friends where they used to be on their, remember back in the day, Blackberries all the time.
Yeah, Crackberry.
Yeah, and it was like, now it's like a very designated, people have designated times that they are on their phones. I think most of, but unless you're an Instagrammer, right?
Oh, that's endless.
So on that note, let's take a little break. When we come back, we're going to go to the back studio and get some transformational tips on a body, mind, spirit transformation and some fashion hacks. Stay tuned.
Show. We speak with Billy Rose, founder of the agency, as to how the agency is so different from all the other brokerage.
To me, it seemed anachronistic to encourage agents to now go be their own thing, and they're no longer sharing their resources with the rest in their group so that they can have competitive advantage. It's always a team is going to beat an individual.
We also speak with Marissa Zanuck, who started the Zanuck Group, and she discusses how it is to be an agent in the LA market today.
So many people that think that you can just make quick money in real estate, and it's really not like that. You need to put your time in. You need to do, the dirty work. You need to learn all aspects of the business.
And my 3 favorite finds in the LA market today. And that's all starting now on the LA Home Show on Focus TV.
producer Alex Worley, filming inside Focus TV's West Hollywood studio. Welcome to Empowerista, a show dedicated to highlighting female trailblazers and empowering you to turn your barriers into breakthroughs.
Hey guys, I'm Amy Papra.
And I'm Justin Walter.
And this is What's Good, the show that's dedicated to positive, uplifting stories from all over the globe.
Welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jessa Moye.
And we're making history as the first live streaming daily talk show.
This is where all kinds of shit happens.
Monday through Friday, we are going to be streaming to you live, Los Angeles, at 9 a.m. Pacific time on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Alyssa Goodman Show. So Kelly, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Alyssa. This is so fun.
I know.
What's up, Rose girls? I'm Jessica Carroll. Today we're gonna have so much fun because we have fitness personality Katie Austin.
Hey,
we're
thanks for
having
having me on.
with
Cheers.
Katie Austin.
I love it. It
Cheers.
feels like a Saturday.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Millennial Life. I'm your host, Laura Odegaard, and today we are joined by the very beautiful former Miss California and now a TV host, Natasha Martinez. I'm so happy that you're here.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
You are tuning in to Slay with Rachel McCourt, and I have a fabulous guest. In studio with me is Liza Glukoff. She's just been named executive producer of programming at Awesomeness TV. I mean, no big deal, but huge. Hi.
Thank you. Hi.
Are we so excited right now?
We are so excited.
I mean,
Thank
we
you for
have
having me.
roses, we have perfect lighting, we've got some Spa Girl vodka in case we get a little crazy.
Hey, Dr. Erin here, teaching universal law and spiritual truth, having a conscious conversation in the heart of Hollywood. And I'm honored to have the guest today, who is Christina Pascucci, who is amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's an honor to be here with you. I so appreciate it.
Today on Moms Matter, we're going to talk about money, 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 something that we all struggle with and we need help with, and that's why we have the fabulous Winnie Sun, who's here with us today.
Aw, thank you.
Thank you so much. I know you've been on MSNBC and Forbes, and you are the money expert.
Hey everyone, welcome back to a new magical episode of Soul Reboot. I am your host, Allison Charles. Please welcome and meet this powerful divine queen whose name is Daphne Wayans. I am so happy to be here with you.
I'm so honored to be here.
Live back from Los Angeles, we have Sydney Summer, fashionista here. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I love that color. Your sweater is so pretty. Right? I know. Oh yeah, that'd be good.
Feels right for spring.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it, but we're trying to bring a new spring today.
Oh yeah. So Transformation Tuesday.
Yes.
We want to get some tips from you today. What can we do to transform our fashion?
I think it's little things. Like what I talk about on my blog is, yes, I show you what the trends are. You know, when I go to Fashion Week, I come back and actually I have a whole YouTube series on it where I break down the trends, but it's what makes it work for you. You know, not everyone has the same body type. There's certain trends that I can't wear.
So what are the trends?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. Well, pastels are in and bright, so like what you're doing. Yes, you're so on trend. Lace is, you're actually like, you're just totally on trend
nice.
right now. A lot of sleeves, so you'll see like the bell sleeves in the 60s.
I've got the sleeve thing happening.
Yeah, we don't even need, you guys are
I have a question for you then, because I'm doing this whole like darker root thing on the top, and I love it one day, and then I absolutely am going to hate it the next day, and I'm like, I can't decide, like, and I can't go back to the root. So what is in as far as the hair thing?
Well, the lobs are very in, so kind of what I have, it's a shorter, it's called a long bob.
A lob, okay.
It's called a lob.
Okay.
So you'll see a lot of celebrities wearing this, like Lucy Hale has the shorter hair, and it's more about ease. Like we kind of moved away from the whole like Victoria's Secret perfectness.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And now it's
like
just,
Jess, it's so gorgeous all the time.
But you don't have like the perfectness, you have the relaxed one, which I love.
Oh,
you know, it's
thank you.
It's like I tried, but I tried.
She has the best hair.
Yeah, effortless.
She has the best hair.
I
You do
really,
have really
thank
good
you so
hair.
much. What I love so much about your blog and your video content is that you really break down like the celebrity, the red carpet look to be approachable, to make more for the real girl, the everyday woman. What's the secret in that, to be able to look so fabulous, so chic, but feel comfortable in that?
I think it's just figuring out just what you feel comfortable in, like trying out the trends. Like, you know, it's not something permanent. It's not like you're getting Botox. You know, it's gonna go away. You can try on anything. And
I love that. That outfit's so cute.
So that's actually a series that I do on my YouTube, and it was a reader request. So what I love, I used to be a fashion editor, and what I love about blogging and Instagram is you have this connection with, I talk to my girls all the time on Instagram, or they email me, and they all requested, they're like, we just want easy outfit ideas by switching up different
love that
accessories.
one. That's
so kind
so
of what I
cute.
do in this series is just basics that you can wear all the time. So this one is a pleated skirt that you either probably have. I've had this one for years. I actually ripped it during the video, so I bought a new one. Yeah, transforming your body. Things. And it's just like figuring out, you know, like, oh, maybe the red booties aren't my style. Let me try black booties. Maybe a leather jacket's not for me. Let me try a jean jacket. So it's kind of taking the trend and making it work for you. So when I do the celebrity style on my blog, it's not a get the look for less. You know, there are plenty of websites that do that. It's like, oh, Kim Kardashian was wearing a $1,000 blazer. Here's a $100 version,
Right.
or like a $30 version. But I did a Kim Kardashian thing about, you've seen her with the open tuxedo trend. Have you guys seen that? And honestly, a real girl, like, you can't wear that. Can you imagine sitting right now? It's like, I mean, I don't have the Kim voluptuousness. I wish I did, but you can't do that in real life. So, but I love the look. I love the look of like the sexy open blazer, because it's menswear made sexy for a woman. So what I did is I showed how you can belt it, wear a bralette underneath, so just in case it does peek open, there's some fabric there, you know, and it's just making it work for your life and your comfort level.
So I'm taking all the questions because I'm dying to know. Yes. So I think that it's easier to find, you know, the right pants or the right shirt. I think that the accessories is the most challenging, because then it can transform an outfit, you know, like that.
Yes.
But I'm getting so, like, I mean, I can't wear anything but gold anymore. Like, I feel stuff if it's not gold. Do you have any tips on like where you can get like good secondhand stuff, or good places
you feel stuff? Sorry, you have like
yeah,
allergies?
like metals. Yeah, like a lot of people are saying that.
do have
right?
that. Yeah, I mean, I just invest in. I don't switch mine up that much. Like these two necklaces I wear, I don't take them off unless I'm going to a spa or sauna.
Right.
Yeah, I think with that, if you're more, you know, sensitive and everything, there's a bunch of different lines that do make real stuff. Like this one is from Stella and Dot, so it does have diamonds, and it's real, but it's a better price point. So just figuring out those.
And there's some great second-hand places online, like the Real,
Trendly.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I have to get those lists from you because I don't know these.
I'm wondering though, why did you choose fashion? Why did you go into styling?
I've just always been into fashion. When I was a little kid, just be a fashion designer. I actually just found this sketchbook that I kept when I was a child, and I drew myself as a fashion designer and then a fashion editor. So I've just always been into that. I fell into entertainment when I first graduated. I used to work for E! Entertainment. I was a Hollywood party girl. I covered parties, and it was just a way to get my name out there. Did I want to talk about Paris Hilton and Lindsay Lohan at the time? No, I wanted to talk about clothes, but I always recommend to people, like, it's great to get that business perspective on life and just to be in the realm of what you're doing, because I met so many people, which helped me do my blog. So I'm so thankful to E! For, you know, giving me my first start on that.
What have you learned about success in that process? You know, just along the journey, I wonder, you probably learned so much. You know,
oh my gosh, so much. One is, no matter your level, is to be nice to everyone, because it's just, you know, the right thing to do. But on a selfish level, you never know where they'll end up. No, I see so many girls, like they get, especially with this whole Instagram famous thing right now, and you see these bloggers traveling everywhere, and people can get an attitude, and you have to be real and just be nice, because you don't know where people are going to be. They could be your boss. They could be the head of a brand the next day. And especially now, you can just just blow up. You don't have to climb the corporate ladder anymore. So you could have a 22-year-old that maybe you were nasty to, and she might be hiring for something. So I think just really be nice and real and
what do you think was the
appropriate.
biggest challenge for you in breaking out, doing a blog, creating your own brand in your business?
The biggest challenge was Instagram, I would say. When I first started, it was a hobby, and I was still working at E. Luckily, I had the coolest boss, and she was very supportive, and so she let me do both. So I do recommend, I've spoken on a bunch of those panels like Lucky Fab or those type of, well, Lucky doesn't exist anymore, but the blogging panels like Simply Stylist. And I always tell people, don't, you know, there are fashion bloggers, they're like, quit your job and just go for it. I don't recommend that, truthfully. In order to quit, I lined up a ton of freelancing, writing gigs, and I made sure if I didn't make any money in 6 months from my blog, that would be totally fine. And I think that's really important, just to be prepared. All these girls, they see these Instagram stars, and I think Instagram wasn't as big when I started, because I'm an OG. I've been doing this for a while. I remember I used to do a twit pic of the day. Do you guys remember on Twitter? So that was my thing. That's how actually my blog started, because I would do tweets in front of my mirror, and it's what I wore to work every day. So it's like, I would say like lace top, orange belt, white jeans, cute spring outfit. You know,
and 40 characters.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh. So that's how it started, and it was more real at the time. And now Instagram's great because it connects to people, but it also has built this facade of what you can do, and it's tough. It is really tough. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's hard.
What's been the secret to your Instagram branding, would you say? What's worked for you Instagram-wise?
Staying true to myself and not looking at others. I did go through a period, I think it was last year or 2 years ago, I was looking at all these girls' feeds. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Like, I need to be traveling more and taking pictures by the pool with my big watermelon. Yes, let me just be fabulous. And it wasn't working for me. And you know, I was doing it and everything, and I just felt off. You know, you were talking before, like with diet, when you felt off, I felt off about what I was putting out there. And I think if you're not content with what you're putting, then your readers will feel it too. So I had to transform or retransform myself, and I had to take a step back. I'm like, okay, what the hell am I doing right now? Like, why did I start this? What do I love? And I was like, I love giving tips to people. Like, I love helping people. Do I need to be this like fabulous Vogue like model? No, that's just not me. Like, I give practical tips, and I like helping my girls and talking to them and building their self-esteem. Like and I thought back to, I actually printed it out for one of my readers, actually YouTube people. She had watched, I do this trend guide, which is coming out in a couple of weeks, and it basically breaks down the trends that I see from Fashion Week and just shows you easy ways to wear them. And not the crazy trends, the easy ones, like, you know, florals, mixing prints, things like that, well, I say it's easy, but I know a lot of people have trouble with it, but I make it easy. Like, that's the point. And she wrote that she started watching my YouTube videos, and it helped her out of her depression because she started dressing better, feeling better about herself. She started getting compliments, and then her depression slowly lifted. And like, I still like tear up when I read that, and I'm like, that I want to get back to. So do I need the photo in the south of France? Yeah, it would be fun. You know, that's not what my brand is. So I think you have to figure your brand and just stay true to it.
It's dope. I'm sending all my clients to you. You'll get some in one day. That's amazing.
It was like the best feeling in the world. And I'm rebranding right now, so I am actually redesigning my website. So it started as purely fashion, and then people were like, what nail polish are you wearing? What this are you wearing? And I've never considered myself a beauty expert, but I do have I'm really lucky to be able to try out new things all the time. So now I started recommending things, I'm not a makeup artist, you know, I'm not gonna like teach you how to do it from a professional standpoint, but from a real girl. Like there's one on my blog right now if you guys wanna enter the giveaway. So I took red carpet trend, which is like this bright, colorful eyes, and like show you how you could wear it if you're going on a date this weekend. Like nothing too crazy.
Well, beauty is the perfect complement to fashion.
Yeah.
Right? And so being able to share both is really incredible. What is your vision with your blog and this content? Where do you see yourself going in 5 years?
Well, it's going to become, I already have the answer to that because I just am redesigning it right now. So it's going to be a website, more like a real girl scoop. So it's not just fashion and beauty. There's also home. I just redesigned my home. So I've been sharing home tips, fitness, food, and I'm going to have a bunch of girls that I've worked with in the past that I respect that fall in line with my brand to be contributors. And so it's a whole resource for the everyday woman just to be inspired and achievable ways to do it. Nothing too crazy, everything that you can do at home. But I always think of myself, I'm like, like your sister, you know, like we're buds. I just happen to like love fashion, so I know a lot about fashion. Just like, you know, my friend knows everything about business, so when I have money questions, I turn to her, but she teaches it to me in a really easy way.
And what will that new blog be?
It's the same. Yeah,
Okay,
so it's
good.
just going to expand. It's going to look different. It's launching in a few months. So
well, when you launch, you come back. We're going to celebrate it.
Yes, that sounds great.
Very fun. Well, I'm really just wanted to say thank you. And I think it's important for people to know that transformation is all levels. And I agree. Like there's days when you're just down that sometimes, you know, it just takes getting yourself put together and getting out in the world. And,
oh my gosh, just putting on clothes sometimes, honestly, because working from home it can be lonely. And I find myself, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in a t-shirt and underwear and I haven't gotten dressed except to walk my dog. So just to like put on a bright sweater, like I'm not fancy today, but just like color sometimes lifts you up or anything.
The best part of the show is it gets you ready in the morning, gets you up. Otherwise, like there'll be days at 2 in the afternoon, I'm like, I'm still in a robe. I think I'm so sad right now. I don't know why.
You have to get dressed, whatever you wear.
Thank you so much for being here. Tell everyone where they can find you.
So you can hit me up on Instagram. I'm at Sydney Summer, or check out my blog, Sydney Style.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
Thank
all your work.
you.
Appreciate it. Stay tuned, you guys. We'll be right back for a body, mind, soul transformation. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Focus TV studios in West Hollywood. I'm Jessamine Moyer, host of the Focus TV network show, LA Unscripted, and co-host of America's first live streaming talk show, Good Morning, La La Land. This is the Focus Magazine preview show in an exclusive sneak peek. Today, I have the privilege to announce the March 2018 issue of Focus Magazine, and we're calling it the Influence issue, featuring amazing personalities making a difference in our local communities. On the cover, we have singer-songwriter and host of Chasing Glory podcast, Lillian Garcia. I had the extreme honor of both interviewing her and writing a feature for the magazine on Lillian. She's truly an influencer on so many levels. Joining her on the cover is my spiritual influencer and co-host of Good Morning, La La Land, Dr. Erin Haskell. And with her is a true professor of influence, Amanda Russell. Also featured in this issue, we have the constructional chef, Scott Harris, executive chef from the Four Seasons Hotel right here in Beverly Hills. Byron Thomas and 2 members of the Focus TV family and dynamic duo of lifestyle influence, Janet Gunn and Melissa Myers. Also in this issue, we feature Lauren Everts, the founder of the Skinny Confidential, hello gorgeous, and the candle makers Elise Fratto and Maylene Weber of Leone Candeli, which is of course right over there. And Cynthia Abbey Naked, who I interviewed for my show LA Unscripted, and she is the founder of a great piece of functional jewelry from the Coley Collective. We also have a celebrity chef, Serena Poon, and her new product, Just Add Water, in a series of 4 mom influencers from our millennial mom herself, host Jenna Barnett. It's all influence, influence, influence in this issue of Focus Magazine. Get your copy today on newsstands or online, and be sure to watch our companion video features as well, because we are the only magazine in the country providing a robust video complement to our print features. I'm Jessamine Moyer, coming to you from the Focus TV studios in West Hollywood. Thanks for watching.
Welcome back, live from Los Angeles. We're honored to have Sarah Gordy, who is a body, mind, soul coach. And look at this gorgeous outfit. Are you kidding me? So pretty.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always nice to be here.
It's so nice to see you. You have your own show here, Success Beyond Beauty, that you co-host with Terry here at Focus TV Studios. It's so fun, though, to see you in this spot where we get to ask you questions.
I'm excited. I know, right? And I was like, oh my God, is this dress like too much? Like, is it too red? Is it like, and you know, I was thinking about it. It's so interesting that we do or don't do things because we're like scared of judgment, or you know, we don't want to hurt other people's feelings, and we base our decisions on that. So this morning I got a very strong like feeling. I was like, no, you know what, I'm gonna wear this and I'm gonna own it.
Yes, be unapologetic about this dress because it looks incredible.
Thank you.
On you. You have such an interesting journey. You're originally from Germany.
Yeah, that's
what
right.
brought you here to California?
My dreams, honestly. Like I was in a position, I went to law school, I quit, I didn't like it, I didn't know what I was gonna do. knew what I wanted to do. I didn't know what my passion was. So many questions. But there was one thing that I knew, and that was that I wanted to move to LA. And I didn't even know why. I didn't know what I was going to do there, but I had this very strong feeling like in my heart that I had to make it happen. And this is where it all started.
Wow. It's so powerful. It's so interesting you say that, because that resonates with me. I remember being completely confused about what I wanted to do with my career. Like I had no idea, like really no idea. But the one thing I knew for sure is I wanted to be in sunshine, and I knew I wanted to be in Florida. So I remember saying, well, if I don't act on the one piece of information I have, maybe I won't be given any more information. Who knows?
Exactly. And yeah, that has been like so powerful for me, and I'm sure for you too, because we always get so caught up in like, oh, I don't know how, I don't know, like this, the mind, you know, always wants to figure it out, but we don't know, we don't need to know. Like it's just that, okay, we have this one piece of information, we take one step at a time, and everything else will just unfold.
So when you moved to Los Angeles, is that what happened? Did everything unfold?
Yeah, pretty much. And you know, even if I had a plan, everything, you know, it's so funny. Like you really don't need a plan, because everything just fit in, and I could have never even expected that. I came here. I literally had 3 suitcases and 1 dog and 1 dream, and nothing else. Now I have a daughter, I have 4 dogs, I have 2 buddies, I have a husband, I have a house, so everything worked out perfectly. And that was just because I followed my heart.
But there was certainly, obviously, there has to be challenges. It all works out perfectly.
Absolutely.
But what was the biggest challenge for you in that pursuit?
For me, it was actually a roller coaster. So looking back, it's like, wow, I achieved all of these things, but it wasn't easy. I got pregnant unexpectedly, and I was like, oh my God, I'm just trying to figure out my own life. How on earth am I going to be able to take care of another human being? At that time, my dad also passed away, and I couldn't leave the country because of visa restrictions, and I got very sick. I had preeclampsia, which is a very serious pregnancy condition. So there was a lot that was going on, but I had this feeling, like this clarity and this certainty that I was on the right path, and that helped me to push through everything, like all the challenges, all the obstacles.
What helped most when you're in that dark period? Is there anything specific or somebody specific?
It's just that inner knowing that I was doing the right thing for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
I remember being in law school, and I really did not like it. And all the other people around me, most of them didn't like it either, but they were able to push through it. And I was like, wow, I admire them because they're so committed and so dedicated. What is wrong with me that I can't do it? But looking back, I understand that it was so brave of me to really just quit and follow my heart, because most of the other people, they're working as a lawyer now, and many of them are not really happy.
Law and medicine, the most depression.
Exactly.
The unhappiest professions.
Yeah.
And I love my lawyer friends and my doctor friends, and we need them very much.
Yes.
But it's a tough field.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just knew it wasn't the right thing for me, you know.
So fascinating to me, you know, that you sort of went through this period of time, and then you had a real dark sort of night of the soul.
Yes.
And you still had this inner knowing. Where's that inner knowing come from? Was that just a family thing? Is it spiritual?
I think it was spiritual, even though I wasn't aware of that at that point. But it was like really the beginning of my spiritual journey, if you will. And just by doing that and being in that energy without being aware of it, because sometimes you don't need to know, you attract like the right people that you need at that time into your life. Like for me, for example, it was my husband, who's a very spiritual person, and he taught me about all of these things. And he actually was the first person that asked me, what is your passion? And I didn't know what to say. And I felt so embarrassed, and I saw him, he was so passionate about his music and his work, and I was like, wow, I want that. How do I get that? And again, how?
Right. So where did you start?
Well, moving to LA was the first thing, like the biggest one, and then just taking one step at a time, paying really close attention to the things that bring me joy. Like for me, I knew animals, for example, it's like the biggest one. That's why I have 4 dogs. Even though sometimes it can get overwhelming, but I created this. I wanted that. And really, again, tuning in, and you know, this is so important. Find the things that light you up and do more of that. And also, it works the other way around. Things that suck your energy, that take your energy, that drain you. Just becoming aware of it, observe it from like a neutral standpoint without any judgments, and then doing less of that.
It's so fascinating to me, because I think one of the, with in my experience, one of the toughest experiences for me is just figuring out what I wanted to do professionally, like what my passion was. And also for my clients, it's like one of the hardest things to figure out. And that, I think, is part of the problem, is that they want to figure it out instead of just trusting that if they do more of the things that light them up, they'll be led to it in a more organic, effortless fashion. It feels to me a little bit like maybe meditation was a part of it for you, or what was it that allowed you to quiet that mind so you could connect with what you most deeply felt was your passion?
Again, like the people around me really supporting me in that and telling me, wow, you just did that and that was amazing and you seem to really enjoy it. And I was like, yeah, wow, it's true. And for me as a coach, I didn't know that I wanted to become a coach. I actually started a blog where I just wrote about like personal development and all the other things that I had just learned about. I was very new to this. And then I realized, you know, writing about it is great, but I want to work with people on a deeper level. Like I want to really transform their lives. I want to help them to get to that point and really become that, like get to that point where they're so clear that there's these doubts and the opinions of other people don't matter anymore. And only then I realized, oh, maybe I should become a coach.
So in your bio, you talk about it. You talk about how, with your German background and your spiritual work or coaching, that it actually kind of has set you apart, that you're able to bring some of that discipline. Is that what you mean by that?
Yeah, absolutely. There's freedom and structure. I like to say that. I work with a lot of artists and creative people, and they don't want to believe that at first.
They don't like structure so much. Yeah, true. That's why they're artists.
Yes, absolutely. But you know, it's also about finding a structure or a system that works for you. It doesn't mean that you have to do whatever it is on your list at 9 a.m. every morning. Like you can still have some flexibility, but just like creating a structure that works for that individual, that's like the biggest thing. And then taking consistent action, but inspired action. So like not feeling overwhelmed by it and like, oh, okay, I have to do this, but like, yeah, I get to do the things that I enjoy, and through this system, through this structure, I actually have more time to do the things that I love.
I love that. Powerful. So how can people find you and how do they work with you?
Yeah, so wingsofavisionary.com is my website, or Sarah Gordy Coaching on Instagram. And I work with people one-on-one. We also organize meetups. We have a great community here in LA where people can just come together and connect with like-minded women mainly. And yeah, you can find all the info on my website.
Right.
And they can watch our show.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Success Beyond Beauty with Terry and myself.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for coming in, and I know it's not easy as a mom to get ready so early, come looking like you're looking off the runway right here.
Yeah, my husband stepped up this morning.
Nice, nice. Well, you're such a beautiful woman inside and out, and we're just really honored to be with this family here at Focus TV. So thank you so much. Stay tuned, you guys. We're going to be right back, bringing everyone back on and having some more transformation conversations. Stay tuned. Good morning, La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jasmine Moyer. Monday through Friday, we are going to be streaming to you live, Los Angeles.
America's first live streaming daily talk show.
At 9 a.m. Pacific time on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
And we have a sexy show for you today.
We have got Will, Leanne, and Gabe in the house. Let's go back there. Hi!
Talked to 4 beautiful, intelligent, conscious women. Clearly, I was miserable the entire time.
She has a TV show similar to your guys.
Ellen.
Yes!
Yes!
The little peck, come on.
I feel so bad for Jess.
We're live, do it for the people viewing.
For the people.
Wow!
M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U-S-E Club Mickey Mouse.
We definitely were not prepared today, and it was
I'm okay on, but the other half completely. Oh my God.
streaming to you live Monday through Friday on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Happy holidays.
It's going to be a
Good morning, La La Land.
5, 6, 7, 8. We are the Mouseketeers, and we proudly wear our ears. We mousin', we mousin', M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U-S-E, Club Mickey Mouse. Good morning, La La Land.
Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We had an epic show today, I think. We discussed all things transformation, spoke with Sydney Summer and Sarah Gordy about transformation. You know, during the break we were talking a little bit about the challenge of wanting to figure it all out, particularly when you're developing and growing a business, and sort of the challenges and opportunities in that mindset. Could you each talk to us a little bit about how you strike that balance between wanting to figure it out from a business perspective, but also trusting that it can unfold in a way that's even more miraculous than you might have dreamed of?
Well, I think you can speak to this better because you're a life coach. I struggle with this every day. I was just telling you this. I am the person who needs every answer immediately. So I'm working on that. And I think for me, the best thing has been taking a step back and talking to other people because I really want the answers. Really. I was just talking about this with my friend. And with my business and most people's business technology, everything changes like by the day. I don't know if you guys heard of the new app that might replace Instagram. I doubt it will. But
We had the conversation yesterday and I was like, oh my God, the pressure.
I was like, why another platform? No, I'm going to have a mental breakdown. So, you know, it's taking a step back. Kind of when I was dealing with, like, this is such a small bubble, but dealing with the Instagram or Snapchat. Do I do Snapchat or do I do Insta Stories live? So I literally had a conversation with a bunch of my friends. We all sat down with a glass of wine and we're like, side with Mark Zuckerberg. You know? And so it's just like, for me, it's just really chatting with people and like trying to get feedback on life because you can't have all the answers. And sometimes it just, even if someone can't give advice, just like talk it out. You know, have your friend therapists.
I think
you're your life coach.
I mean, sorry, I'll let her answer, but I think you had a great point is where you do know something, and that's kind of the formula for some of the coaching. When I work with clients and they get overwhelmed, we start with one thing. What do you know is good? Like wake up, eat, you know, X amount of meals, get sleep, like back to the basics, and that's what we know, and then we move and work on from that.
That's a great point,
how do you deal with that with people?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel that realizing that it's a journey, you know, and that even just having that connection or building that connection with your inner wisdom and your intuition takes time. And so just knowing that without any pressure, just like tuning in, but like in a playful way every day, and you know, your intuition will get stronger, your connection will get stronger, and that's my piece of advice.
Also what we talked about with the positive, like that's helped me a lot. Just throwing out a positive thought. Like I try to do that in my journal. I'm like, okay, no more negative writing, just like positive. Like what do I like about my journey? And like what you were saying, you focused on what you liked. Like you came to LA, you guys like the sunshine. Like those are good things. So you're going in the right direction.
Exactly. Like you, I want everything right now. The immediate thing, I'm doing all the work. I wrote the positive thing, so I need my answer now. Universe, I'm ready. And it's like, I guess there's more we still have to figure out. It's all about the timing and the journey. I'm impatiently waiting.
Deep breaths. That's what I always do. I'm like, okay.
The joy of the mystery, though, right? Like, if we knew everything, it wouldn't be fun. Like, life would be really boring if we knew exactly.
Have you guys heard that quote? The best chapters of your life aren't written yet, something like that. I love that quote.
I believe that one.
Yeah, so like your best chapters, still more chapters to come, and they're your best chapters ever.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that. Well, you guys are so amazing. I like the colors. They're working.
Like a belated Valentine's Day.
My main quote is, life is not a dress rehearsal. Eleanor Roosevelt.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
I'm going to add that to my...
Yeah, I thought you'd like that. I thought you'd like that. Well, we have Good Morning La La Land streaming to you live Monday through Friday on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter as America's first live streaming daily talk show. We'll see you tomorrow.
Stay tuned tomorrow. We'll have Wealth Wednesday, talk about all things leadership, empowerment, money, cash, OLA, kind of things like that. So have a great day, you guys.
It's going to be a Good Morning La La Land.
So what are you guys doing the rest of the day?
Sarah's like sleep.
You guys are so great.
So nice to have you guys on. I mean,
you're all living LA. Just up the street. Yeah, like Los Angeles and Santa Monica.
Have you ever heard about getting bunny?
I do. Yeah, that's why you said
I heard you say bunnies, and I was like,
Yeah, well, I have 2 actual bunnies, but they're
my foster bunny, so I'm looking for a home.
I heard bunnies are hard to take care of.
Yeah, but they're also more like dogs. Like you can treat them, you can pet them, like they come up to you, they want them to pet you. So yeah.
You said 2 bunnies, and I didn't know what I was going to ask you, but then I wanted to ask you to know what you meant by that.
Oh, bunnies!
Like rabbits.
Yeah.